Disney has a Star Wars problem. Let's talk about it. When Disney bought Lucasfilm, I'm pretty certain the higher-ups thought that they had guaranteed successes. And if we think about the movies that have come out under the Disney era, we've got episode 7, we've got episode 8, we've got episode 9, we've got Rogue One, and we've got Solo, which was a spin-off. Well, no, it was a prequel of Han Solo. All in all, are Disney satisfied that they've only released 5 Star Wars movies? No. They're not happy, they're not satisfied about that. Not in the slightest. Now, out of those Star Wars movies, the best Star Wars we have seen, the best Star Wars movie we have seen is Rogue One. And I've had this discussion not online, in person with real life people. People love Rogue One. So much so, they even did a prequel of Rogue One with Cassian Andor. So Rogue One and the Andor TV shows are the best Star Wars we have seen so far. Now, as a Star Wars fan, if you haven't watched Rogue One or you haven't watched Andor, you owe it to yourself to go and check it out. Andor, no, Rogue One it's the most thrilling, most exciting Star Wars of the Disney era. And Andor, we go behind the scenes, we get to understand how the rebellion got to where it is. In Star Wars episodes 1, 2 and 3, we kind of get to see the Senate and Senator Palpatine, whereas in Andor we go deeper into the underbelly of the Senate and the ruling upper class in the Star Wars world, in the Star Wars universe. So I highly recommend Andor. Now, one of the reasons why Star Wars, the movies, have been so disappointing is the following. Because when they made episode 7, episode 8 and episode 9, they didn't sit down to lay out what that trilogy would be. In an ideal world, Kathleen Kennedy, the head of Lucasfilm, what she should have done, she should have got a consortium of writers together to plan out 7, 8 and 9. And if you watch those movies, they are disjointed. Episode 7, for the most part, it was a success in that Star Wars was successfully launched again. But in the grand scheme of things, within that trilogy, it's a bit of a mishmash. So J.J. Abrams directed episode 7. Then we had Rian Johnson do episode 8. That was really divisive. I didn't mind episode 8. Thought it was interesting. I enjoyed the story. The cinematography was incredible. There's some incredible moments there. Wasn't a bad movie. Then J.J. Abrams returns for episode 9. Then in episode 9, they bring back Palpatine. Now, if you're going to bring back Palpatine, he's not a sort of like one and done person. That's someone you have to be teasing from episode 7. Give us a little bit more in episode 8, and in episode 9, pow, that's when we get our big bad. And that all came from not having a clear vision. On the other side, we've got Marvel, the MCU, also owned by Disney, and you can kind of see how clear-cut the MCU is. A clear plan, a clear vision. Now, the only thing that's sort of saving Star Wars are the Disney Plus shows. So the wonderful work that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are doing with the Mandalorian and the Shoka, really great, good stuff, good work. We've had some duds like the Boba Fett show. If you haven't watched that, you're not missing anything. Obi-Wan, so much potential, but honestly, if they hadn't made that show, wouldn't be missing anything. I think it's more nostalgia seeing Ewan McGregor back as Obi-Wan Kenobi. Big shout out to Moses Ingram, she was phenomenal in that series. Then there's another show. Then there's like other sorts of shows. Anyway, so with episodes 7, 8 and 9, there was some good potential there. So for instance, at the top of my head, I can think of like the Knights of Ren. Big waste. Big waste. There was so much potential there for the Knights of Ren. I know. For me, for episode 9, I was so excited to see episode 9. At the time, I was working at Everyman Cinema. At the end of my shift that day, I knew I was going to see Star Wars. There was a lot of buzz around the building, so the boys up in the kitchen, they were playing Star Wars tracks, all the soundtracks. I was like, oh my days, boys. After work, I'm going to watch episode 9. I'm buzzing. Stormed out for episode 9. What a waste. So much potential, like there was so much potential in 7, 8 and 9. It goes back to not having a clear vision for this new trilogy. Now the future of Star Wars, there are a couple of movies that have been announced, most notably the Ryan Gosling Star Wars. We'll see what comes of that. I'm hopeful for the future of Star Wars, but we've got to wait and see. But the big takeaway is this: Star Wars under the Disney era, the best Star Wars we have seen is Rogue One. The Andor spin-offs, which are the prequels to Rogue One. And let's give an honourable mention to Star Wars Episode 8. I quite like that, and the writing and the direction of Rian Johnson. And the Mandalorian, honourable mention. And of course, okay, this is an honourable mention, but let's mention the Acolyte. It was not a success. However, in the Acolyte, we saw the most exciting live action lightsaber battles since Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. And as always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Remember, it's a winning season forever and always. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.